Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Music Theory Mondays. Today we're going to be talking about a very special concept. It's one that eluded me for a long time, but now that I've got it down, set for life. It's a very common movement in jazz, and it's the employment of what's called the tritone substitution. Now, the tritone, anytime you hear that word, tritone, you want to think two things. You've got the word, or you've got the prefix tri, which means three, and then you've got tone, which is just another word for step or note. So anytime something is the tritone to something else, it is three whole steps away from that note. And I'm going to put some stuff up on the screen here so you guys can see some examples visually. A tritone substitution is where you're in a chord progression, and your 5 chord is replaced by another 5 chord that's a tritone away. So the example I'm going to use is, let's say you're in the key of C, all right? And here's your notes in the key of C. I want you to notice that C is the first and G is the fifth. Now, G would be the 5 chord, so G7. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace that with another dominant chord, but it has to be a tritone away. So now I'm going to put up the scale starting from G, and I'm going to count my way up 3 whole steps. We'll land on D flat. Okay, so G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. And then B to D flat, or C sharp. We're going to consider it D flat as the spelling. So you could conceivably be jamming on a jazz tune, and you could do a G7 to C as a 5-to-1 resolution. Or you could employ the tritone substitution, which would mean that you would then be playing a D flat 7 in place of the G7. So I just want to reiterate. Step 1, know the key you're in, key of C. Step 2, what's the 5 chord in the key you're in? We're in the key of C. The 5 chord is G7. Step 3, what chord is 3 whole steps away from G? D flat. Make that D flat a dominant 7th chord, play it in place of the G7, and you've got yourself one tasty chord progression in the jazz style. I'm going to go in depth in this when I do my harmonic analysis of many jazz tunes going forward. It's going to be a while till I get there because I want to hit all these bullet point ideas before I actually start breaking stuff down. By the time we do a harmonic analysis, I want everybody to, at least if you follow me in stepwise fashion, to at least be a little bit familiar with everything we're going to talk about. I don't want to have to backtrack. So I hope this makes sense. Tritone substitutions. If anybody has any questions, comments, I also offer virtual lessons for the additional help. If anyone needs it, let me know. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.